Lisa here from Fun Stuff Crafts. So glad you could join me for another Inspiration Friday. So this week I have got a great project for you. It is July. A lot of people are talking about Christmas in July. I actually had my cousin's wife reach out to me and say, hey Lisa, I need some ideas for some Christmas presents. And then right after that, I got a call from a local realtor wondering if I could make her a custom doormat as a gift on a house closing she just had. So I thought, hey, let's solve both of those issues and let's do an Inspiration Friday showing how I picked up these doormats at Home Depot and we are gonna sublimate on them. Now this is a great project, and in the past I have done the doormats where we paint on them, create a stencil and then we paint. They look great, but I've had experience that they don't hold up as well. So this project I did about a year ago for our local shop in town, Ish. It's called Ish, stands for In Shelton Homes, and it's a whole bunch of crafters that put stuff down there for sale. And I made a doormat for them well over a year ago. Was just down there this morning, and let me tell you, it's holding up great. And so this is a Stylewell doormat that I picked up at Home Depot. Now this size is an 18 by 30. They do have a larger size if you want a bigger mat, okay? So what I want to do first is I want you guys to join me in Canva, and I'm going to show you how I create a design. So this one I already did. The one that we're going to do together, I'm actually going to do one for my new craft room that I'm hopefully going to be in August, that's going to say Fun Stuff Crafts. So why don't you join me over in Canva? I'll show you how I put this design together, and then we'll meet back here and we'll put it on the heat press. So where I like to start out with my design when I'm doing a floor mat is I really like to use Canva. So canva.com is a website, and there is a free version. I will let you know that I am using a paid version, and you can see that I have signed on with my sign-on. So what I like to do is there are all different designs and different ideas that you guys can take a look at, but I normally start with a poster, okay? And then what I like to do is I like to go in to resize it to the exact size I want. So I'm going to be printing on 17 by 11 inch paper. So I just go ahead and go in and resize it. Now I'm starting out with a blank piece of paper, and I can do whatever I want with my design. One of the things that I have fun with is from the text standpoint, I like to use sometimes the ideas that they've given here as different just fun styles of text. So for the one that I made for my realtor friend, I actually used this one. And so I put it in here. I'm making it as big as I can because I want to take up as much of that paper as I can. And you can see with Canva, as I move things around, it is centering it exactly for me. Okay. Now I could ungroup these if I wanted to, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and go with what it says there, and I'm just going to type in welcome. Okay. And then the family that I did one for, they wanted it to say the mouse. Okay. And that is as easy it is to do a design. Now the fun part is to add a little bit of pizzazz to it. And so over here on the left-hand panel, I go to elements, okay? And in elements, you can see that some of the things that I've already used, but there's all different options in the elements that you can pick out from to add. So what I did is I found this idea that I really like, just to put a nice swirl and an arrow on it, make it as big as possible again. Okay, and then what I do here is up here in these options, this is duplicate. Okay, so I'm just going to duplicate that design and I'm going to bring it right down here. And you guys can see that purple highlight. Canva is centering everything perfectly for me. Okay, so that's my design, as easy as that. Now, if I wanted to do another one, so maybe you're making a whole bunch for Christmas presents. This is what's really fun to do. I can go right here and I can say, duplicate this page. Okay, so now you guys can see I have a second page and I could type Welander on it. That's my last name, right? And then I could just keep on going, print out a whole bunch of them, and you guys could have a complete assembly line as you're doing it. Now, if I just want to add a page, and I'll show you how I put together the one that I'm making with my logo on it. That's the one that we're going to be making it. And I have created some folders here. And so let me go to my uploads. And I'm going to find, you guys can see I use this a lot. I really love my Canva. And so I'm going to go down here and I'm going to find my logo. And you can see all the different things I've done with Canva. And one of the reasons why I really like to use Canva, you guys, is because it lets me do all different sizes. And that's really the key here. So here I am stretching this as big as I can, because remember, I've already got the size of paper that I want, right? And so I know that this whole piece of paper is going to be part of my print. And to be able to see it more, I can, down here, there is a button to make my screen smaller, and you can see I can continue to stretch out my logo, and there you have it. It's all nice and centered, and it's ready to go. Okay, so those are just a couple options of what you could do. So let's go back to the mounts one. I've got it all done, right? It automatically defaults to the name of whatever the first thing is you typed in. So this one is going to be saved to my account as welcome. Then I go to download, and I like to download these as a PNG. There's all different options that you can do. You could even bring it down as an SVG if it's something you want to cut with your Cricut. But in this case, PNG is going to give me the highest quality, okay? The other thing I want to do is, for this one, I only want to print that first page. So I could print all of them at the same time. Again, you're making a whole bunch of these, you sure can do it. Or I can just say, hey, I only need page 1, and I'm going to say done, and I'm going to say download. Okay, easy as that. It's downloading to my MacBook Pro, and there my design is. Now, this is one of the things that I really like to do now is I go into File and I say Print, and I've already got my Sublimation printer set up, okay? I'm going to change my paper size to 11 by 17, and I always pick borderless, okay? And then I see how big did it grow, okay? And I'm actually going to scale this one up a little bit, and this is where you can start to play so you can get as much print as possible. And I found out that 110% for this particular design works out perfect. So now all I do is send it to my printer. I print it on my Epson 7210 using A-Sub paper and Cosmo ink. I'll get the one printed that's got my logo on it, and I'll meet you back over by my heat press, and we will get this thing pressed. Okay, so now that I've got my design printed, and I am using 11 by 17 inch paper, okay? So I'm making it as big as I can. Now, if you don't have a printer that will accommodate that large of print, you can definitely do these in sections, because I'm actually going to have to press this in sections because my heat press is a 15 by 15 and my print is 11 by 17, okay? So the key to this, you guys, is these doormats, which like I said, I picked up at Home Depot, are 100% polyester. That's what makes the sublimation possible. Now there is a Stain Master brand that I used to get at Home Depot, but when I was over at Home Depot this last weekend, they did not have the Stain Master. This was the new brand. So style well, and I'll make sure I put that link down below so you guys have that, okay? So what we want to do now is we want to center our design on our mat, okay? Now another thing you guys could do is if you want to do different designs in different places, you can do all kinds of different things here when you're pressing, okay? I'm just happen to doing one design all together, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I am going to find the middle of my design, and I like to just eyeball it, okay? So I'm just gonna press it so I know where my middle is, okay? I don't have a large tape measure with me right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stand up here, you guys, so I can get a better eyeball at this. And I am going to see, this is 5 inches, and this is, oh, I am really close to my eyeballing, you guys. So there I am at 4 3/4, and I am at 4 3/4. Wow, I did good on that one, you guys. Now, the other nice thing about these mats is they do have a weave to them, so I can get it straight just looking at the weave. Now, the other very important part about this project, you guys, is you want to use your tape, okay? We want to use the heat-resistant tape, and we want to tape right on it. 2 reasons for that. We've talked about it with sublimation before, is the tape helps stop the ghosting, right? Where you kind of have that shadow on it. But the other key to this one is, you guys, I have to press this twice because my heat press is not as big as my design. And so by using the tape all the way around, I am ensuring that my design is not going to shift, okay? So I pick up my heat resistant tape from Amazon, my A-sub paper is from Amazon, and then I use Cosmo ink. And then of course I use my Epson 7210 to do all my printing. All those links will be down below for you guys, so you guys can see exactly what I have, okay? So there we are, we've got it all set, okay? I'm gonna bring you guys a little bit closer so you can see the heat press a little bit better, and we'll get going on this. Okay, you guys, so what I've tested from a timing for these heat mats and the heat is 400 degrees for 60 seconds. So these do not take long at all to make, you guys. So think about Christmas presents. If you're trying to make a whole bunch of them, you could put together your designs and you could whip these guys out really quick. So key here is I love my swing away. So I've got a piece of butcher paper down already. I'm going to put my design on here, and I can feel where my mat is, okay? And then I've got another piece of butcher paper all ready to go, okay? The other thing that's really important with these mats is, because remember how I told you it has that weave? You wanna make sure you've got good pressure on it, okay? So double check your pressure on your heat press, and I'm going to engage it, and I have good pressure because I'm really pushing down, okay? And I'm gonna do this for 60 seconds, and as soon as that 60 seconds is up, we're gonna shift it over, and we're gonna do the second half for 60 seconds. So what do you guys think? I think this is a great idea for Christmas presents. Think about the other presents you could do it for. Wedding gifts, putting someone's last name on it, housewarming gifts, just all kinds of fun things. You could even do some funny sayings. I was thinking about maybe even making some for our local shop that say our town name and the coordinates. You know, popular thing seems to be down there. The other one that's really big around here, I don't know if it is around your area, but we got a lot of people that like Bigfoot. So even some Bigfoot doormats, I think, would be a really good thing. They're not that expensive to pick up at Home Depot, and then by sublimating and customizing them, you can definitely make some good money on them. So there goes our first 60 seconds, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm very carefully gonna shift this over, okay? And I am going to pull my butcher paper to protect my mat. and I am gonna go for another 60 seconds. So this first mat I made, as I commented before, is a local realtor wanted it as a gift. So think about that, you know, all kinds of ideas of different people that might be interested in some mats. So this might be something that you might want to put together. Make sure you use your own design, of course, and you guys could be making some mats. So I'd love to hear what you guys think about this project. I really like to get your guys' comments in my videos, so make sure you do that. Leave a comment down below. And the other thing is, you guys, give it a thumbs up if you like this. If you'd like to see some more sublimation tutorials, please let me know that, because I'd love to put some together. Hopefully, I'm going to be in my new craft room sometime in August. Construction is going really well. For those of you that are new to my channel, we unfortunately had a fire back in March and I lost my craft room. So that's why I'm in my dining room right now. And I know my family cannot wait for me to get out of the dining room. But we're making it work, okay? So let's take a look and see what my Fun Stuff Crafts looks like. Look how pretty that one looks. This is the first time I've done color on the mat, and I think it turned out really well. So I will make sure I give you guys a full close-up view of these. Thanks for joining me for another Inspiration Friday.
And here's a close-up view of the Fun Stuff Crafts mat. I just love using sublimation to make these doormats. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to check out my blog at funstuffcrafts.com for other DIY type projects.